Hi, my name is Roger Schluter. This video is actually about what they really call the EIDL loan. It's the EIDL loan, and it stands for Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Uh, most of almost everybody became aware of this loan during the COVID-19 pandemic. But these loans have been around forever. They've been helping disaster victims, for years and years. Um, like hurricanes, which we have almost every year or every other year, SBA will actually send representatives into those areas to go ahead and assess damage and to go ahead and get these loans out. Fires out west, they had a lot of them the one year in California. Hopefully we won't have that again for a long time. But then the floods. I mean, here in the Midwest, we seem to have a lot more floods from several rivers. I know that's hard to say for some people because of all the droughts, but right now we seem to have plenty of water, but you never know. The victims must have substantial economic injury. And what that means is the business is unable to meet its obligations and pay its ordinary and necessary operating expenses. So this is a little different than just having physical damage. The EIDL loan provides working capital to help the small business impacted by a disaster survive until normal operations resume. EIDL assistance assumes that the company is unable to obtain credit elsewhere. The eligibility, you have to either be a small business, a small agricultural cooperative, or a private not-for-profit organizations can also apply. The location must be in a declared disaster area, which has suffered substantial economic injury. If you remember with COVID, it was like the whole United States was like a declared disaster area for COVID. So that's why the EIDL loans were so, I guess, so prolific during this period. Anyway, the amount is up to $2 million, and you don't have to have physical property damage. It's really based on meeting financial obligations and operating expenses that could have been met had this disaster not occurred. So anyway, the business can qualify for both the EIDL loan and a physical disaster loan. The physical disaster loan is for homeowners, renters, not-for-profit organizations, and of course businesses. Basically the physical damage, or the what is it called, the physical disaster loan, basically it has the same rate of interest in the same term as an EIDL loan. And then if you borrow under both, your max is still at $2 million. Anyway, the terms, the interest rate cannot exceed 4%. I don't know if they've changed that at all. I know that that was what was on the SBA website. Maturity is up to 30 years. I know that hasn't changed, that's exactly the same. The use of proceeds. Working capital is really anything that you want to use it for in your business. So working capital is kind of a catch-all to really anything you need to use it for. But and then they actually define it as working capital in normal expenses such as the continuation of healthcare benefits, rent, utilities, and fixed debt payments. So anyway, that includes about everything. I mean, I don't know many other expenses the business would have other than those. In working capital, you can literally use it for anything. So anyway, the collateral requirements. There is no collateral requirements for amounts under for 25,000 and under. For over 25,000, real estate is the preferred collateral. For loans under or equal to 200,000, the SBA will not require the owner of the business to go ahead and pledge his home if, now there's a big if here, he has collateral that he can give other collateral available. And if you remember, they're saying real estate is the preferred collateral. So, it could be a problem unless you have other, other real estate that you could pledge. People actually apply directly to the SBA, and that's one of the different things about disaster loans. You always apply directly to SBA. You don't have to go through a bank. I know that the PPP loans were totally different. That was a special program, just to get the money out. But the EIDL loans, they do not go through a bank. They don't go through an intermediary. You apply directly through SBA. And then almost all of SBA loans will require the SBA getting a IRS Form 4506T. Now you'll have to fill this out and sign it. The reason they get that 4506T is it allows them to get a transcript of your tax returns. So they'll usually have more than 1 year. They'll usually have probably 2 or 3 years on there. And they'll basically send that to the IRS, and the IRS will give them a transcript of your tax returns. It's fine. I had a company who was a laundromat, a guy who owned 1 or 2, and he wanted to buy another one, and his financials looked really good. He had increasing sales, increasing earnings for like the last 3 years. The new company looked really good too. It was kind of a slam dunk to me. I was kind of surprised. The problem is when we did the 4506T, the transcript showed the company didn't make any money and didn't pay any taxes. A lot of times when they don't make any money or they don't show they make any money, it's because they don't want to pay any taxes. So sometimes that could have been, I don't know if it was at his direction, he acted like, well, my tax person filled this out. So, but usually they're not going to do something, take liberties with people's sales and earnings unless, you're directing them kind of. So anyway, that was one of the things, and we couldn't do that loan. I mean, there was just too big a discrepancy. I basically asked the borrower, I said, hey, here's what you're giving me, these sales and earnings, and this is what your transcript of your tax return shows the last couple of years, and they don't match up. And I said, is there a reason for this? And he didn't give me a reason. Kind of wish he would have, because I probably would have tried to make the loan. So anyway, it is what it is. And that's one of the things. If you're not reporting income on your taxes, then this, going through SBA could be kind of a problem. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell for future videos. And you'll actually get a notification when I go ahead and upload a video. And then also, if you got any value out of this, I hope you hit the like button, because that does help the channel. So anyway, Roger Schlueter, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.